Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see how to provide content distribution network by using CloudFront service in AWS. So for that, I have taken two server types. That is one EC2 type server and one server I created by using my S3 bucket. That is S3 by using S3 static hosting. S3 bucket static website hosting. There I've created a website in S3 and even in EC2 as well. I'm using one EC2 as a website server. Now my requirement to use this CloudFront distribution is, let's say I hosted my server or my EC2 instance in Mumbai region. Now the people who are present in US region, they're trying to accept my server by using the IP address. But they're getting my server with high latency. That is a very late response they are getting. Now I want to provide my website to them with a low latency. That is a very low late. I want to provide my website whenever they search in the browser. So for that, I don't need to create my EC2 instance again there. I just need to create a CloudFront distribution. That's it. If I create my CloudFront distribution, then it even charges me less compared to others. Even it provides me all regions as well. You can even create this CloudFront distribution across all regions. So whenever you create this CloudFront distribution for any origin, if you create your CloudFront distribution, then what happens is that data present in your server that will be cached into your edge locations. In every region edge locations, it creates a cache memory. There actually your data will be cached. That is frequently accessing data will be cached to that edge location, and whenever user try to access the same content again and again, then it will be then user get the data from that CloudFront edge location, not from the server. So in this way, the number of requests coming to the server reduces, and even user can access the content very fastly with low latency from the nearby edge location where the content is saved, right? Yeah. So let's do that hands on. Now I'll show you this server. So for that, I've already logged into my management console. Now I'm opening an EC2 instances. You can see I'm opening EC2. Under the EC2, I'm opening the instances. In the new tab, I opened my EC2 instances. You can see, yeah, it is loading. If you observe, I have one server that is a CDN web server. So that I've already created for you for this lab. So this is the server that I've created previously. Now I'm copying the public IP address. I've copied, right? Yeah. So now I'm again opening a new website, and here I'm providing that with an HTTP request. With a HTTP request, I provided that address and I clicked on enter. In order to show you my website, I just opened like this. You can see, yeah. So in this server, my website is there. So that's why if I request by using this public IPv4 DNS address, I'm getting that website, right? Yeah. So now what I'm expecting to provide CloudFront distribution, or you can say CDN, content distribution network for this. So for that, in order to create CloudFront distributions, I'm opening CloudFront service. So I'm opening CloudFront service. So you can see in this CloudFront service, you have distributions option. By using this distributions option, you can able to create your CloudFront distribution for any origin, and you can replicate that content across multiple availability zones, multiple regions, even across whole globe also you can able to replicate your content, right? Yeah. So here in the starting menu, you have an option to create your CloudFront distribution. Now I'm just clicking on create CloudFront distribution. You can see whenever I click on create CloudFront distribution, it asks me the origin. So what is your origin? That origin you need to provide. Since I have copied previously, I am pasting that. So this is my origin domain. That is http colon double slash. Yeah, this is my origin domain, or you can say you just provided this and click on enter. Now I want to allow the request only coming from http. From this origin domain, it actually creates the caching in the edge locations. Now I have provided the origin domain as my server public IP address. Then I provided the protocol, that is HTTP, and now I'm moving on with the default settings, and I'm creating, currently I don't want a origin shield as well. Default cache behavior, I'm moving on with the default options for this as well. You can see under this cache key and origin request, I'm choosing this legacy cache settings. Now I'm moving it up, and yeah, so that's it. I'm not choosing anything. You can see under WAF, currently I do not require any WAF for this demo, but for real time, this WAF is important for you in order to overcome the vulnerability risks which are coming from hackers in real time. That is required. And now this is the time to choose the pricing class. Based on the pricing class that you choose, your content will be distributed to across continents. That is, if you want your content to distribute across only North America and Europe, then select this. If you want your content to be distributed across all edge locations of America, Europe, Asia, Middle East, and Africa, then select this. So currently, I'm expecting to replicate my data across all edge locations. That means globally I want to replicate. So that's why I selected this. So that's it. I'm just moving it up and just clicking on create distribution, so that this CloudFront distribution will create now. Now you can see our request will be initiated, and you can see it is deploying whatever the CloudFront distribution that we are initiated to create. So that is deploying. Even you can see the details of it and settings of whatever you provided for that. Now, after this got deployed successfully, you can access the same website from this CloudFront distribution related domain name. Now, I want to wait for a minute so that this CloudFront distribution will be deployed successfully. It's currently deploying. Now you can see that this CloudFront distribution, so what are the distribution that we just created, that was created successfully. You can open the origins and check even the origin that you provided. You can see that is the origin that you provided, that is available here. You can even create multiple origins here by just clicking on create origin, and you can add multiple origins to the same distribution as well. Now I'm not creating. Even you click on currently available origins for your distribution, and you can delete it or you can edit it as well. Now I'm just expecting to check whether this distribution is working and I'm getting the content from this CloudFront distribution or not. So for that, I'm again opening the another new tab, and here I'm providing HTTP request. But now what I'm pasting this CloudFront distribution related domain name that I have copied now. Yeah, you can see that I pasted here, right? Yeah, the same thing with HTTP request. Since I am accepting the request only from HTTP to this CloudFront distribution, so that's why I provided like this. And I'm just clicking on enter. Now, if you observe, you can see my website is available here, right? Yeah. So like this, you can able to create your CloudFront distribution for your servers for your EC2 instances. Not only the EC2 instances, you can able to even create this CloudFront distribution for S3 static hosting websites as well. So that also I want to show you in this lab. So for that, I'm opening an S3 bucket that I've already created for you for this lab. Now you can see this is the S3 bucket, that is this web bucket that I already created for you for this lab. And you can see it contains the index.html file and the other scripts, that is CSS or JS scripts and images or any other thing that are required for this website I've already provided here. Since my website here, you can observe one thing here. You can able to host any type of client side scripting applications by using S3. If you host your servers by using this S3 static website hosting, then you don't need to take care of scaling. Scaling and everything will be maintained and managed by using Amazon only. If you host your website here in S3 bucket, then that maintenance will be taken care and their scalability, everything will be taken care by AWS. And if you want to increase the latency of it, or you can say if you want to provide with a low latency response to your customers, then here also you can able to create this CloudFront distribution for this S3 bucket. So for this S3 bucket, I've already created that is a static website hosting that is present under your properties of your bucket. Here you can see this is a static website URL and my static website hosting is already enabled for this. So for this lab, I already enabled for you, and I'm opening one more new tab to check whether the request, the copied, you can see I copied this static website hosting URL. Now I pasted that here and I'm just clicking on enter to check whether I'm getting the website or not. You can see I'm getting the website, right? Yeah. So now what I'm expecting? I'm expecting to create CloudFront distribution for this static website hosting, that is for this hosted origin as well, for this hosted endpoint as well. For that, I'm just copied this endpoint. And now I'm moving back to my CloudFront distribution. You can see I moved back to my CloudFront distribution. Here I want to expecting to create one more distribution. You can see under distributions, I'm expecting to create one more distribution for my S3 bucket. Already I have one distribution available. This distribution I have created for which origin, that is EC2 instance. Now I'm creating one more distribution by clicking on create a distribution, and here I'm providing the origin domain. What is that? The website URL I'm providing. Here also I'm allowing a HTTP traffic only, and I'm moving on with the default name of this origin. So everything will be default I'm moving, and whereas I changing the legacy cache settings for this lab, I'm using this cache settings as a legacy cache settings for this lab demo. And this WAF I'm not going to enable, because if I enable this, it's gonna protect my website from vulnerabilities. But currently I don't want, even it charges me, so that's why I'm moving on with not enabling this WAF. For this also, I want my distribution across all edge locations, so that's why I'm moving on with that pricing class, and that's it. I'm just creating this distribution also for my S3 bucket by clicking on create distribution. Here also I provided only one thing, that is my origin location, right? You can see in origin, the endpoint of my S3 bucket that I provided is visible here. You can see under origin domain. So this is the origin domain. If you expand this, then here you can able to see the domain, exact domain, right? Yeah. Now this CloudFront distribution is currently deploying again. It might take you few seconds to minutes to deploy it. So just wait for few seconds to minutes so that this CloudFront distribution also will be deployed. You can see here, it was deployed successfully. This CloudFront distribution got deployed successfully even for our origin. What is our origin? S3 static website that we just hosted previously. Now I'm copying this deploy distribution, CloudFront distribution domain name. And now I want to check whether this distribution domain name is working or not by pasting here. And since I'm allowing only HTTP requests, so that's why I provided only HTTP requests, and I'm just clicking on enter. Now you can see it is allowing the traffic, right? Yeah. So this is how you can able to create your CloudFront distribution network with, that is content distribution network with your CloudFront service in Amazon for your servers that are hosted in your EC2 instances or static websites that you hosted in your S3s. So the best suggestion, which type of websites do we host where? Either do I use this EC2 as servers or either do I use this S3 as servers. Based on the type of content that you are hosting for your server, you can choose the preference. This EC2 you can choose as preference for dynamic websites. That is, the backend code will be dynamic. So whenever you return your application code with Python, JSON, Python or PHP, or so like that, if you create your application by using those codes, then you must need to run your website in backend. So in that case, you need to choose this EC2 instance for that. But if your website contains only client side scripts like HTML, CSS, JS, so like that, then you can able to choose this. If your website contain Node.js, so like that backend, then you need to choose this EC2 for hosting your server. So based on your preference, you can choose anyone to host your server. And if you want content distribution network across all availability zone or across continents, then you need to prefer this CloudFront distribution so that it can reduce you the cost of providing the response with a low latency to your clients. In this way, you can able to create your CloudFront distributions to your servers and provide low latency response to your clients. I hope you understood how to create CloudFront distribution for your servers in AWS by using CloudFormation from this video. I hope you understood how to implement this hands-on. That is creating CloudFront distribution network by using AWS CloudFront for your servers hands-on. How to create content delivery network or distribution network by using CloudFront distributions for your servers. So I hope you understood this video and you got some hands-on knowledge from this video. If you feel this video is useful, then please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye guys.